All right. Good evening, everyone. We're so thankful that you could join us for Hope from the Stevens Home, day 7. Hope you're able to join us right now. Wanted to just remind you that we're here to help you. And so thank you very much for allowing us the opportunity to speak, to you and for watching us. You can take a few minutes if you can subscribe, if you want to subscribe to find out. We do some recordings. This is our first live night, but we've done some recordings, recorded some other things. But it's great to be able to be on here and chatting with you tonight. What do you think, Carissa?
I think it's great. I mean, today marks 1 week of Hope from the Stevens Home, and we've definitely learned a lot in doing this. And I know we have lots more to learn from the tech side and just the personal connection side. But we love when we do hear feedback. And so, if this has been meaningful to you, or if you've been encouraged, or if you've just found some more hope by watching this, we would love to hear that, because the reason we're doing this is for you. We want to show the world out there that there is hope in this time that we're in right now, and so if this has been helpful for you, we'd love to hear that feedback. And so I'm just thankful that we're on day 7, and that we've been doing this for a week. It's been great.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. If you're on right now and you're watching with us, if you want to take a moment and chat in the future in the chat feature there, we'd love to say hello personally to you. So you can just say hi, and as we see it, we'll say hi back. But thank you for watching us right now. Maybe you're watching on a replay later, and just thank you for taking time to do this. Today was a long day. I don't know how you felt, but it was a long day, and lots of good stuff happening. Work, privileged to still be able to work and do that. And then we had our evening with our speech and debate family tonight, which was a lot of fun. How'd you feel about our time to do that?
I love connecting with our friends that we have in our speech and debate club, but my favorite part was we ended the night with playing a game, and we laughed, and that just it was really nice. Another thing that I loved about tonight was we prayed together, and that was just, some of us are carrying some heavy burdens, and some facing some challenges right now. And so it was great just to set aside some time and just to pray for each other.
Absolutely. Uh, and so I want to talk about those challenges briefly tonight, because we are almost a month into this COVID-19 feeling here at the local level in Indiana. It is about a month ago, March 15th, that we got our first. You might be able to hear our kids upstairs. They're getting ready for bed and stuff. So, hang on. The privileges of going live is that you can't hide what some of this stuff is happening in the background. So, but we are about a month into this season. We're about a month into what happened. I remember our last night with our youth group, the second Sunday in March. We sat down and we were talking. We were like, "What happens if COVID comes and affects us? How do we live? What's that going to look like for all of us?" And the very next day was when many of our students found out that school's canceled. Avon Community Schools canceled for that first day because of a student testing positive, and then it just kind of trickled from there. And it's been a month of some serious challenges. It's been a month of adjusting. It's been a month of rearranging, and it's been a month where really very few people know how to like engage in this type of scenario. Uh, Even if you enjoy being at home by yourself and reading a book, there's still a lot of things that I know many people we know have taken for granted, and we're still affected by. So, what's the biggest thing that's challenged you over the past 3.5 weeks or so, Carissa? Do I need to get you
No.
some tissues?
I probably will cry though.
That's fine. Do I need tissue?
No,
okay.
no. I think the hardest has been Sundays not being at church with our church family. That's been really hard, and just not connecting face to face with our friends. Like, I really miss my community of people.
Yeah. And it's, something I've noticed is how we take those unintentional times for granted. And what I mean by that is many of us sometimes are satisfied by our depth of friendship and our depth of community. I know I found myself here several times over the past few years because of friends moving on and things, and like we went to church together and we thought we had this really deep relationship, and because we connected weekly, and sometimes multiple times a week, and we talked about deep things, but then it comes time where you have to work on the relationship, and because you're no longer doing that when you're not at church together and you're not in community together, you're not co-workers anymore, and I mean that's really hard, because there's this sense of, at least that I've found and I've heard several people say, what was our friendship even real? And so what would you speak to that?
I think you definitely find out who your true friends are in situations like this, because we don't have the luxury of our natural connections with one another, and some of those natural connections make us feel like we have a deeper connection with that person than maybe we actually do. And so, like, I have however many hundred friends on Facebook, but that doesn't mean that all of them are like deep connected friends. But in times like this, I think we really do find out who our true friends are, because it takes intentional acts of connection to stay connected with those people. What would you say about that?
I think that's true. You find out who you realize that you only have limited time and resources to be able to put towards those connections, right? You can only make so many phone calls and so many, because when you're at church or in any other sort of community, sometimes you can kind of float around and spend 2 or 3 minutes with each person, and you feel connected and you feel good, and so I do think that you have to manage your resources a little differently, your time and your energy and stuff. But I would just caution you, because I've heard other people express similar things. You find out who your true friends are in circumstances like this, and I would just say, don't give up on those friendships.
I agree.
Because your friends are going through the same thing that you're going through.
Right.
And each of us are going through these things, making these adjustments, making and we're each making calls. Hey Nellie, glad to see you on here tonight.
Nellie.
But we're each making these decisions, and we're all going through this very new thing together. And so it's easy sometimes, and I've talked to a few people like this, where oh, well, they're not my friend, because they're not reaching out to me, or they're not if I'm the only one putting any effort in, well, but maybe they're in a different stage of life, and I'm talking
Right.
even before this COVID mess.
Oh yeah.
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 I'm making this story up, but this could be the scenario, right? Or I have a friend who's a new parent, has a newborn baby, and I'm like, why aren't they ever reaching out to me? Because I'm the only one that's ever saying hello, and I'm the only one reaching out, seeing how they're doing, and they're never reaching out to me. They're not a real friend. No, it has nothing to do with our friendship, probably.
No, when you have a newborn baby, you don't have time to pick up the phone or to send a text message. Like, you're just trying to live and make sure that baby's living.
Absolutely.
You need to reach out to that friend because they need you.
Absolutely.
So
And
yes, it's seasons.
it's very much seasons, and right now we're all in a very unique season, and so in this season, we're with you. We recognize that, and let me just encourage you to recognize that for other people. This is a very significant season for mental health challenges, for all of us. Mental health, emotional health. It's a very significant season for us in our loneliness and isolation. Because I love you. You're my wonderful, beautiful wife. I love my kids, and I love the people in my home. Exactly. Exactly. Do you feel similarly?
Yes, I love you dearly. You're my favorite human. I say that often. You are my favorite human. But I miss my friends.
Yeah. And when you're stuck, stuck.
I was
When
like,
we're stuck.
Let's be real. We're stuck.
We're stuck, obeying the stay-at-home order and minimal, outside interaction. When you're stuck like that, it's one thing to choose, like, to go away and be with you for 2 solid weeks or something, and we chose to go have this all-inclusive resort, because that's what this is right now. This is an all-inclusive resort.
What a different mindset.
Well, maybe not a resort, but this is all-inclusive. It is all-inclusive. And you get to do your own laundry, and we get to make our own beds, clean our rooms, but it's an all-inclusive event. But it's completely different when we choose it ourselves
Yes.
versus when it's imposed on us.
Yes.
So, so we're stuck. But I'm glad to be stuck, with you. But some people are they're isolated and feeling alone, and even, computer-based interaction, FaceTime,
It's not the same.
Facebook, Messenger, Google Hangouts. It's not the same, and so how can we be good friends to them, understanding their season?
So I think always, giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. Like, we're all in the same season. I don't know anyone that really is enjoying this, and really like, yay, this is awesome. Like, there are definitely things in the season that are great, but I think just giving grace to one another, thinking the best of others, extending grace for them, and just giving people permission to be real and to be vulnerable, and just saying how things really are. Like, there doesn't need to be a facade or a mask or anything like that. Just being authentic and genuine.
I think those are good. Tonight in our speech and debate club, we're giving kind of some fun opportunity for parents to speak, and one of the quotes we gave tonight was from Helen Keller, and it said, "As selfishness and complaint pervert the mind, so love with its joy clears and sharpens the vision." And I just want to read that again. As selfishness and complaint pervert the mind, so love with its joy clears and sharpens the vision. And I really just want to kind of speak to that, as we wrap up. We don't want to keep you too long, but right now, like, it's an easy time to let our thoughts go negative. I think that's what Helen Keller was saying. If you don't know who Helen Keller was, I encourage you to look her up. She had every reason to be filled with selfishness, bitterness, and complaints. She was. I just encourage you go look her up because her life story speaks. You can watch. There's a movie, a play about her called The Miracle Worker, and her life story, and she had every reason. But she gives this beautiful quote: "As selfishness and complaint pervert the mind, so that as the negative thoughts just once we get in that negative thought, I don't know about you, but when I find myself thinking negative, it just is a downward spiral.
Oh yes.
And it quickly leads to dark places that I don't know how to get out of by myself. She says, so love with its joy clears and sharpens the vision. And I think, I don't know the context of this quote. I just found this quote. It's a nice quote, and it spoke a lot to me. So I don't know the full context of what it means, but I'm going to interpret it a little bit. I think when we walk in love, we clear our own vision. So when you choose to walk in love and it's joy, your vision clears. Like it's just so much more beautiful. And we choose that grace that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Like it's so much more freeing for us when we choose that. But I also think that when we choose to love others in this time, when we take a step back and we look for people who might be on the edge. That they're hurting mentally, emotionally. Their families are hurting. Their marriages right now, you know. And let me tell you, being confined. I don't know about you, but being confined here has made us focus a lot on us, inside this place. And sometimes we focus so much here that we haven't even reached out as much as we could, and as much as we should. But I think that, you know, our love, extending love to someone else and loving them also helps clear their poisoned mind, where that negativity and that happens. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, I think that's, you know, yes, I think that if we focus on the negative, that can definitely pollute and cloud and distort our thinking and corrupt it. But if we can focus on love, and what was the other thing she said? Selfless? No, she didn't say that. But
so
she talked about
said,
selfishness.
love with its joy cheers and sharpens the vision.
Yes. So when you're focusing on love, that will give you clear vision and just a better mental headspace. And so focusing on love, and I think love is the opposite of selfishness. And so that kind of goes along with what she's saying there.
So our challenge to you, our challenge to each other is to express love internally towards ourselves to help keep us from that dark place of negativity and selfishness and that complaint, just always being in a place of complaint. But we love ourselves and also love each other. Your friends, your people who you thought were friends and you're wondering if they're friends, listen, they're all going through something very similar. And we don't know the depth that they're experiencing it. We don't know the financial stress or strain. We don't know the joblessness. We don't know the marriage turmoil that might be happening. We don't know. There are single parents out there still trying to work. And their kids are home from school and they're trying to manage this and e-learning and there are all kinds of things that we didn't sign up for, and we're all trying to navigate this in our own ability and in our own circumstance, our own way, and let me tell you, we need each other, and we need that grace and that love for each other. And so let me just close and challenge you with this. Reach out to someone. This is a struggling time. It's a trying time right now. But reach out to someone, particularly someone you might know is going through and potentially going through mental health. This is a season for depression and despair and emotional health. Reach out and love someone. Love a few people.
That's good advice.
Well, what do you think about doing it live like this?
As long as the kids cooperate, and the dog and the chickens, and we can't edit those out. So
Correct.
I don't know. I mean, we could be more windy this way though. That could be dangerous.
Yeah, that's why we have a timer, a clock
Yeah.
on there. So, well, thank you for joining us tonight. It's great to be able to speak. And if you have any thoughts or things that you'd like to share with us, leave them in the comments. You can subscribe to our channel, maybe share it with people that you might know, because we plan on doing this at least for the month of April. So we're on day 7. We just finished up with day 7. So 1
Hey,
week.
Anita and Zach, it's great to see you guys.
Hello, Acres. Great to see you online here. Thanks for joining us. So, friends from a long time ago, that they're still friends, even though we don't see each other as often as we could and want to. So that's great. Thank you for joining us online tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us online tonight. We just want to speak a few moments of hope from our family to you and yours. Experience hope in this season and this time. So with that, we want to say bye and have a great night.